They said she was impossible. They said no one could survive more than 5 minutes at her table. And on that rainy Tuesday morning, every employee at Willow Creek Café silently prayed she wouldn't walk in. But she did, dripping diamonds, radiating power, carrying the kind of reputation that made even grown men step back. What no one expected was that the one person who wouldn't run from her that day to manager, wasn't a seasoned server, wasn't even someone who cared about tips. It was a tired single dad, wearing a cheap tie, waiting for a job interview, who ended up changing her life with just one act of kindness. Before we get into this emotional story, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment to support our channel, your channel Nay. Your engagement helps us bring more inspiring real-life stories your way. The morning had been rough already for Michael. His daughter, Abby, had cried because he couldn't afford the new sneakers she wanted for school. His truck had stalled twice on the drive. And now he sat inside the cafe, hands trembling, rehearsing answers for the interview that could finally pull them out of survival mode. He checked his watch. 10 minutes left. He just needed a cup of coffee and a quiet moment to breathe. But peace didn't last long. The glass door swung open, smacking hard against the wall. The entire cafe froze as a woman in a long white coat stepped inside. She wore sunglasses even though the sky outside was covered in storm clouds. Her heels clicked sharply, slicing through the silence. Whispers swept through the staff. That's her. Oh God, why today? Someone hired. Her name was Monica Hale, one of the richest women in the city. She owned tech companies, real estate towers, and half the billboards downtown. But she was also infamous for firing employees on the spot, suing waiters over spilled drinks, and screaming at any human who dared breathe wrong near her. She snapped her fingers at the hostess. You, she said. Table. Now. The hostess swallowed hard. Of course, ma'am. Right this way. Monica didn't walk, she marched, and the staff scattered like startled birds. Michael watched, unsure if he was witnessing a scene from a reality show or real life. He had heard stories about rude customers before, but nothing like this. The hostess led her to the table directly across from Michael. Monica sat down, dropped her purse with a loud thud, and immediately started complaining. This table is wobbly. This atmosphere is depressing. And why is the temperature so cold? Who runs this place? A server approached timidly. Ma'am, how may I? I want a coffee, she snapped. But if it's bitter, you'll hear from my lawyers. The poor server nodded and fled. Michael tried to look away. He had enough problems of his own to worry about. But then something unexpected happened. The server returned with coffee. His hands shook so badly the liquid rippled against the rim. Monica took one sip and spit it back into the cup. This is disgusting. Did you even try? Or is incompetence just part of your job description? The server stammered. I'm sorry, ma'am. I can make another no. Get me someone who actually knows how to serve. He stepped back, eyes glossy with humiliation, and then her cold, sharp gaze shifted right to Michael. You, she said, you look like someone with nothing better to do. Come here. Michael blinked. Me? Yes, you. You've been staring long enough. If the employees here are too useless, maybe you can at least tell me what's wrong with this coffee. Michael could have ignored her. He could have told her he wasn't part of the staff. He could have walked away, but something in her eyes, anger mixed with exhaustion, felt strangely familiar. He stood and walked over. Ma'am, he said gently, I didn't mean to stare. I'm just waiting for a job interview. So you're unemployed. It wasn't a question, it was a verdict. Yes, he admitted softly, but I'm trying, she scoffed. Everyone says that. He looked at the server she had scolded, then back at her. Maybe it was Abby's voice in the back of his mind reminding him to be kind. Maybe it was the exhaustion of holding his own stress. But he didn't shrink away. Look, he said, you're obviously having a rough morning. But yelling at people won't make it better. Her eyebrows shot up so high her sunglasses tilted. Excuse me. Michael took a steady breath. Everyone's going through something. Even you. But treating people with kindness, even when life is hard, that's how you get through the day. The cafe went silent. Forks froze. Even the coffee machine stopped hissing, as if the whole room held its breath. No one talked to Monica Hale like that. Her voice came out low. Do you have any idea who I am? Yes, Michael said calmly. You're someone who deserves kindness too, even if you've forgotten how to give it. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. For a full 5 seconds, the world stopped spinning. Then something almost imperceptible happened. Her shoulders softened, her jaw loosened. And for the first time, she didn't look angry, just lost. She cleared her throat. Sit, ma'am. Sit, she repeated, and drink this coffee. Tell me if it's terrible. He sat cautiously, took a sip, shrugged. Tastes fine to me. She stared at him as if trying to read his soul. Why didn't you yell back? Most people do. Because anger is contagious, he said quietly. But so is kindness. Her eyes flickered. A small crack in the armor. Then she asked the last thing anyone expected. What's your name? Michael Reed. And why are you unemployed? He exhaled slowly. My wife passed 2 years ago. I left my job to take care of my daughter, but now money's tight. I'm trying to get back on my feet. Something shifted again, a deeper crack. Monica looked away, tapping her nails against the table. People think money solves everything, she said, but it doesn't fix loneliness. It doesn't fix grief. Michael studied her. You lost someone too? She hesitated, then nodded. My mother, she whispered. She built everything I inherited. She was terrifying, but she was all I had. And when she died, I didn't know how to be anything except what she trained me to be. A soft, trembling confession, not from a billionaire, not from a monster, from a human being, a wounded one. Michael's voice softened. I'm sorry. Losing someone changes you. Her eyes glistened barely, but enough that Michael noticed. No one ever talks to me like this, she murmured. They're all afraid. Maybe they don't see the real you, and you do? I see someone who's hurting, but also someone who can choose to heal. She laughed under her breath, not mockingly, more like she hadn't heard genuine kindness in years. The server approached again, cautiously. Ma'am, would you like me to remake the coffee? Monica glanced at him. For a moment, the old instinct to snap flickered, then faded. No, she said softly, thank you. And, I'm sorry for earlier. The server nearly fainted. The whole café stared in disbelief. Michael smiled. That was kind. She rolled her eyes lightly. Don't get used to it, he chuckled. Fair enough. They talked for a few more minutes, about life, about pressure, about how strange it was that two very different people ended up at the same table on the same rainy day. Then her gaze fell on his worn-out tie. You said you have an interview. What job? Assistant operations manager for a small distribution company. She nodded thoughtfully. Cancel it. Michael blinked. What? Why? Because you're coming to work for me instead. He nearly choked. Ma'am, I didn't. I wasn't asking for. I know. And that's why I'm offering. I need someone who speaks honestly, someone who sees people, someone who treats others with kindness, even when they don't deserve it. She slid a business card across the table. Come to my office at 9 tomorrow. You start immediately. You serious? As serious as a billionaire can be, she said with a tiny smirk. Michael's eyes burned with disbelief. Thank you. Really? This means everything. She stood, straightened her coat, and looked at him one last time. Just don't lose who you are, she said. Kind people are rare. And with that, she left the cafe without yelling, without snapping, without a single complaint. The staff stared after her like they had witnessed a miracle. The server turned to Michael. Dude, who are you? Michael smiled, still stunned. Just a single dad trying to be kind. Weeks passed. Word spread that the unapproachable billionaire had changed. She still ran her empire with fierce precision, but she wasn't cruel anymore. She listened. She softened. She remembered people's names. And she always kept a framed quote on her desk. The sentence Michael had spoken that first day, anger is contagious, but so is kindness. Michael thrived in his new job. Abby got her sneakers, life felt lighter, and every time it rained, he remembered the morning he almost hid behind his coffee, but chose kindness instead. Kindness doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's just choosing calm over anger, compassion over judgment, humanity over pride, and sometimes that small choice doesn't just change someone else's day. It changes their life. And yours. So today, choose kindness. You never know who needs it most, or how far it will go.